Hey there again, folks. Welcome back to my Let's Play of Remember11, The Age of Infinity. And last time we learned a lot about cloning. Come to this channel for education, I'm sure. Every episode, I hope, is educational in some manner. Some of which probably will put me in a place exactly where they're at right now. So, thanks a lot, YouTube. But anyway, let's get back to trying to figure out what's going on here. It's too early to reach a conclusion about this. I should confirm all this with Uni himself later. Hey dude, you a clone? Is there another you running around there? Just curious. Third, why does the newspaper article mention the shelter cabin? The newspaper article describing our deaths and place inside the cabin can't be explained by conventional logic at all. Duh. And then the fourth problem. What is the real purpose behind this facility? Iribushi Keiko, even though the present personality is Suzukage Hotori, has been placed under house arrest here, so this is probably Sphia, the location I was headed to. The Satoru and Uni are here too, plus there are only 4 people here altogether, which makes no sense. It should be a medical facility that accepts psychiatric patients. There should be doctors and other staff here. Plus, even if this place is meant to be a self-supporting facility, the level of freedom given to those committed here is much too high. Iribushi Keiko is a murderous monster who killed 12 innocent people. Even she isn't being restrained whatsoever. Any cooking utensil could turn into a deadly weapon in her hands. Plus the fact that there's absolutely no outside contact. You know, if she were to escape, if she were to go on a rampage and kill everybody there and then run off into the woods, who's gonna be like, hey guys, by the way, you know that girl who killed all them people? Yeah, she escaped, you know. She's loose, on the run. She could be killing people right now as we speak. Yeah. So yeah, I mean they would need a way to do that. You know, I'm just saying. That is true. It is very true. I was at my wit's end. There are too many mysteries to think about alone. I have a mountain of different things to consider. It feels like I'm being squashed under that mountain. Here's a question. She was going to go here. Did she have to arrange anything in advance? Who did she get in touch with to do that? I'm assuming she arranged something in advance. I mean, you would think you would need to do that. I mean, if I were to show up at a place, be like, hey, yeah, that guy over there, I'd like to speak to him. Is that cool? I mean, I know he's killed a lot of people in the past, but yeah, I just want to have a chit chat, you know. I didn't call in advance, you know. I just showed up here and was like, hey guys, I want to talk to that guy. You know, it doesn't seem very logical. So either she did do that and somehow now that's not a thing, or yeah, I really don't know. I'm pretty confused on that fact too, now that I think about it. Don't I have a valuable partner in all this? I rushed to the table and picked up the pen with my left hand. Also, I have to ask about the continuation of the phrase "my body is" that Satoru left unfinished. Braced myself and faced the blank sheet on the note. Only a single line, transfer 1:07 p.m. was scribbled on it. Where should I start? Just as I thought that, I flopped down to the table. Of course, it would be best to start with a greeting. However, I don't like that kind of formality. Good idea. Why don't I make a cute little drawing? Because any guy would like to wake up in his own body and be like, oh, somebody drew a really, really cute bunny. I'm glad this hand did that. Wonderful. In that case, it should be something feminine and ladylike that reflects me. I have confidence in my skills. I may not look it, but I wanted to be an illustrator when I was in elementary school. What kind of drawing should I go with? Really, a bunny is a thing? Wow. I'm good with... I guess I'll go with a bunny. Why not? May as well. Maybe that is a pretty common thing to draw. Like, dang nose. Yeah, I guess it is a pretty common thing to draw because I was... Yeah. Yeah, it's probably thinking of Minecraft because they added bunnies in it recently. To fool their natural predators, they have the trait that allows them to make trails of fake footprints in the snow. When I was a kid, I remember my honest respect for that, thinking I too want to be as intelligent as that rabbit. That's good ambitions. It could grow up to be as smart as that rocket scientist, but I think I'll be as smart as that bunny. Yep. Goal in life. Written down. Let's go after it. Rabbits are definitely all about the ears. But to hover about the ears is too ordinary, so I'll concentrate on making the face really detailed first. Oh my gosh. She's gonna draw this dang picture and then be like, alright, time to get to the actual meat of it, the important part, and write down information. They're back. Dang it. That's probably what she's gonna do. Oh man. Oh, she's not even gonna get the chance to. Hopefully she. Hopefully she started it, and maybe it, hopefully the maybe she started on it, and the way it looks is something like a, instead of being like a face, it looked kind of like a butt, cause that would be horrible. Let's see what valuable information the person who I'm exchanging personalities with gave me. She drew an ass. I feel 92% sure that this is indeed an ass that I am looking at. She gave me the time that we switched, at least. that kind of makes sense because, you know, I was actually about to do the screen, but you wouldn't see me motioning on the screen. But you know, they kind of do like on the face, they do like the circle, and then they kind of do like the internal like curve or something. Or do they? Maybe they go straight down though. Actually, maybe they do go straight down. Actually, either way would kind of make it look like a butt. Yeah, let's keep talking about butt drawing here. You know, I actually did that in the. Actually, I didn't draw it. I drew the poo coming out of it one time. I blamed it on another kid. I felt really bad. Well, it was me and a friend of mine. We blamed it on another kid. I still feel bad about that. Got away from it. My friend's mother was the teacher, so, or we're kind of in a study period, not an actual important class, so that's how that happened. Maybe I can't remember if she actually taught him or not. I don't think she did. I don't think that's allowed at any time, but it's completely unrelated. Let's quit talking about drawing butts. The pen had changed into a cup. I was gripping a spoon in my right hand. My left hand was an aluminum cup. Inside the piping hot rice gruel was seasoning. Unable to comprehend the situation, my dumbfounded voice hung in the air. From beside me, my cup was snatched away. My gruel was snatched away by Mayuzumi. I see, so another personality exchange happened. I had returned to the shelter cabin again. The lodge adjoined with death filled the smell of burning firewood combined with the piercing. What? A lodge adjoined with death, filled with the smell of burning firewood combined with the piercing cold. Okay, I guess so. I guess. I don't know. I remember to check the time on Satoru's note. I lifted my right arm to see my wristwatch. Nose itches. Only see my beloved watch wasn't there. Impatiently searched within my memory. Was it in my pocket? Wonder if I'd lost it. Check it. Check the other wrist. See if he. Maybe he wears it on his other hand or something. But when? I looked around and found my wristwatch in an unexpected place. It had been fastened with care to the bunk bed's ladder. Not understanding it at all, I removed my wristwatch from the ladder. Did Satoru take it off and fasten it there? Maybe he doesn't like watches. I used to wear a watch, but I don't really care for them too much now. I really don't have any that work anymore. Well, there's some that, you know, that are actually metallic, and I'm just like, I don't like the metal ones. You know, the ones with like the normal type bands are okay. I used to have them to where they wouldn't keep time good. I was kind of a little annoyed at it. So normally, when I use my phone if I want to know what time it is or whatever else is around. While complaining, I fixed the wristwatch back on my wrist. Time was 1:40. It's a weird sound effect. As I smelled the fragrant scent of the rice gruel, my stomach growled. Feels like my stomach is completely empty, even though I had just ate breakfast a moment before. Was what I thought, but I realized that naturally that was wrong. The one that ate breakfast was Satoru's body. It wasn't my own. Resentfully, I looked in Mayuzumi's direction. Ever as if she were gulping it down, Mayuzumi finished eating the rest of the gruel. Yeah, good point. Oh, yeah, that situation. Hey, why are your arms looking like drumsticks? Oh, what did I say? I didn't say nothing. Have you ever heard that putting pepper in your hair is a great conditioning technique? Yeah, try it out. Just try it out. Don't you feel conditioned and like your pores are opening? From that expression alone, it was clear that he wanted what he wanted to say. Whoa! Saying that Yomogi held out his cup. Held my hand up in refusal. Oops, dang it. Mayuzumi made a grab for Yuni's cup, but her hand was slapped away. Mayuzumi's greed makes me want to. He has a point. Arguing about stuff with food would be kind of a bad idea. Yeah, it seems like a bad idea. So yeah, we're going to keep our attitude in check. I want to make my complaints known, but decided against it. To survive on this mountain in the dead of winter, perhaps it's necessary to live greedily like Mayuzumi. Since we were really hungry, what we should have done is evenly divide up everything at meal times. However, I couldn't do it because of the 4 people here. Only I've gotten to experience heaven. Toast, bacon, and eggs, and tuna salad. Dishes were incomparable to such plain rice gruel. The difference between the warmth of the heated dining area and the cold here was like the difference between heaven and hell. My body itself wasn't full, but my spirit was satisfied enough. On the other hand, the other 3 were on the brink between life and death, having already been shut up in this small, suffocating cabin for around 10 hours' time. Is that all? 10 hours? Couldn't possibly take food away from them. Couldn't even criticize Mayuzumi. With that, the meal, the savage in comparison to those at Sphia, ended. Now look at the lantern some more. This makes me paranoid when it's on the black screen for too long that something's going wrong with the game. Why is it that the flow of time feels so slow when there is nothing to do? In the end, what we call time is a subjective thing, vague and prone to frequent fluctuations. It felt like an eternity had passed since that meal. At long last, the outside had become wrapped in darkness. The 4 of us occasionally had fragmented conversations with frequent pauses in between, but most of the time was spent in continuing silence. As if starting the night watch, Yomogi had quietly camped himself in front of the drum stove with his eyes shut. What was she saying 10 hours? I don't make any sense. Maybe it's been 10 hours since the last time they left, which would be when she came back the last time. Maybe. I don't know. It was probably to preserve his strength. Mayuzumi, too, had shut herself up in her own territory, having not moved even once. My stomach, which had gone without dinner, continued to make groaning sounds. Wanting to conserve my energy, I pulled my blanket over my head like the other 2 had and kept my eyes shut. Due to the hunger, it felt as if my stomach had a fever. I struck my stomach with my fist and endured the hunger. Stop it! No! Stop it or you don't get dinner. I'm telling you. Well, it looks like I'm pointing at something completely different besides my stomach. That's weird. So let's not do that. I thought that this sensation of hunger was a clue to the true nature of the situation. Personality exchange occurred, and I remembered getting hungry, even though I'd eaten my fill at Sphia. In that case, it showed that the entirety of our bodies didn't change as well. It's a strange hypothesis, but with this, I could reject the possibility that my body had transformed into that of Yukido Satoru and jumped over there. I advanced my speculation while watching the steam rise from the kettle. It was my brain that felt hungry. The feeling of the need to eat comes from a signal sent out by nerves in the digestive system that it is felt as hunger. Then it'd be wrong to think that our brains were switching back and forth, wouldn't it? As to the likelihood of that, I tried to find some way to verify it. However, I concluded that it was impossible to do so. I felt hungry immediately after transfer, as soon as my body became that of Fuyakawa Kokoro. If our brains themselves had switched, the blood inside the brain should have accumulated sugar to be used for energy to some extent. In other words, I shouldn't have remembered that I was hungry immediately. It would be appropriate to think that my mind never separated from my body in this world and that the hunger signal was continuously being sent out. That would be kind of strange. It'd be really strange for the other people in the room. If maybe, like there was like a clasp and, it went like the top of your head popped open and the brain just went like and of course it had like a little pinwheel like thing on top of it, just like float. and just go off into the distance. That's quite the vivid image I had there. Very strange. Let's move on before I have other images like that pop in. Murmured in a small voice. Even if my brain jumped into Satoru's skull and perfectly united with the nerve tissue of his spinal cord with a pop, what awaits after that would be a rejection response attack beyond all imagination. Something like swapping brains is nonsense. Let's learn what rejection is. And no, it's not what you get when you ask Natalie Portman for marriage. I totally don't know what that is. No. The refusal of the body to accept transplanted foreign tissue, a defensive reaction meant to protect it against infection. When an organ or similar tissue from another person is transplanted, it is viewed as a foreign substance by the immune system, which will attempt to destroy the tissue and expel it from the body. This type of immune system attack is called rejection. Alright. As expected, this can only be interpreted by my personality, my consciousness being exchanged. There's no explanation. But what is consciousness in the first place? The me at Sphia was definitely Fuyukawa Kokuro's personality. It had entered Yukito Satoru, but it was me. If I borrowed the figurative comparison from Satoru's note, the driver operating the car, known as Yukito Satoru, is unmistakably Fuyukawa Kokuro. The reason I think the me in that world and the me in this world are the same is what? What is me to begin with? While thinking this, I came to a single conclusion. Saw this documentary on TV. As it pointed out, the mechanism called memory is simply a network of neural circuits. For example, say you wanted to memorize the word apple. In memorizing the word apple, it is necessary for your brain cells to branch into dendrites and lengthen into each other, connected at the synapse. Physically, it is red, circular, and a fruit. A variety of different elements must be remembered in combination for you to be able to recall it. Okay. Let's learn about synapses. A communication method between neurons. Neurons can send messages to each other via synapses. Okay. The circuit necessary for remembering apple requires a recollection of the word apple to be completed. In other words, memory is asking, in what pattern are your brain cells connected? Goes without saying, but Satoru's brain and my brain are different. And so the memories that were supposed to have been engraved in my brain only were recalled by Satoru's brain. Does this mean that the moment my consciousness flew into Satoru's brain, the neural network inside his brain changed and connected in the shape of Fuyukawa Kokuro's memories? Man, they're pretty generous here. They're giving us a lot of tips here. A bundle of nerve cells composed of a cell body, an axon, and dendrites receives and transmits stimuli. Okay. Or is it the host computer in my skull in this shelter cabin? The only client terminal is where Satoru is. Like a remote controlled robot. Man, there's a lot of tips here. Oh, we got 2 for the price of 1. Nice. In a network of 2 or more interconnected computers, the most powerful computer in the group, which performs most of the computation and network control, is known as the host computer. In a system consisting of 2 or more interconnected computers, the client is a terminal that receives commands from the host computer. You know, the way she described that kind of matches what Utsumi was saying earlier. With the personalities and stuff, sorta. I don't know if it's a intended connection or not. Rather than the neural circuitry of the brain changing in the blink of an eye, the possibility of this being the case feels much higher. I myself up in the blanket and lay down with a soft thud. My head was starting to My head was starting to hurt from all this thinking. As is mine. As is mine a bit. Yeah, it's about as much scientificosity as I can take at the moment. Had to make up a word to be able to express the scientificosity that I'm experiencing right now. Yeah. So I do hope you folks enjoyed this episode of Remember 11, and I will see you in the next one. Farewell there, folks.